Yeah, it is right now. All right, let's mute it. Mute it. All right, folks, here we go. Scrimmage game / scrimmage number 3 for the Woodbury PWC boys Royal team. Tonight playing the St. Paul Capitals PWC team. Looks like we're going to have Coach Rex again tonight. That's for me. Woodbury boys coming in 1-1 in scrimmages so far. Leading up on the Woodbury team here last week, and then suffering a loss to the Stillwater boys on Saturday night. And let's see if they bounce back here against the St. Paul Capitals. We'll get a chance to ask the parents of St. Paul how their boys were doing this year, but we'll find out shortly. Woodbury wearing their practice blues and shot and save. Kept in a long distance shot for Woodbury. St. Paul wearing their home whites. Shot by number 7. Picked up by the Capitals coming out of the zone, and they're sending boys deep and early. Both teams came out to play tonight. Some early activity. Lots of fire in their bellies, ready to play. Kept in the zone by St. Paul. Another shot, good save. Puck meanders out of the zone, picked up by St. Paul and right back in. And off the top crossbar. Let's go, Sam. Get it out of the zone. Pretty good job by St. Paul clearing the zone when the puck comes out. Except for that time, I jinxed him, and it'll be offsides. Face-off win for St. Paul. Early pressure by big number 83. Up out of the zone. 3-on-2 for St. Paul. The puck goes over the net. And that puck is out. St. Paul doing a pretty good job hanging on to that puck. St. Paul zone. Need to get a little more pressure than one man on that puck carrier. And we'll have a face-off. Comes up the ice, 3-on-1. Shot just wide of the net. Front of the goal there for St. Paul. Lucky to have our goalie make a stop. Defense got to remember, one man on the goalie, one man on the puck. Two men on the puck leaves the goalie all by himself. Luckily, Ian was up for the task right there. Oh, beautiful centering pass with St. Paul. And that puck comes all the way out, down into the St. Paul zone. Good idea on the pass for your teammate there. Brought up the ice by St. Paul. Shot saved. Face-off win for Woodbury. Puck is sent all the way out of the zone. I don't see an arm up for an icing. St. Paul player may have tipped that as it came out of the zone. Will be an icing, and we'll bring it back down to the Woodbury zone for a face-off wins for St. Paul. Puck's taken back to the defense. Shot wide of the net. Covered again by St. Paul. Nice centering pass. Back to the defense. Shot again. Good job on a tip attempt there. Intentional penalty. Sometimes that stick gets where it should be. And it doesn't look like we're going to run the penalty clock, but we will have a face-off in the Woodbury zone. 5-on-5 still. St. Paul parents are letting their boys know they need to skate and helping the ref with the icing call. It doesn't look like a parent, more of an older brother giving some officiating advice. Still 0-0 here at beautiful Charles Schultz Arena in St. Paul, home of the Creighton-Durham Hall Raiders and the St. Paul Capitals and the St. Paul Scots, if I'm not mistaken. Shot wide of the net. Recovered point blank range. Saved by Woodbury. Kept in the zone. Woodbury takes control of it, heads up the ice. Woodbury taking advantage of a few opportunities in the zone here. Nice saucer pass. Goalie had to get his pad down to save that. Woodbury doing a pretty good job controlling the puck right now. Woodbury takes a 1-0 lead here midway through the first period. Nice shooting, Hayden. Not sure who got that shot for the assist, but rebounded. Good looking play by Woodbury. There's something to be said about being at the right place at the right time, having your stick down on the ice for when that rebound comes. I'm going to teach my daughter. Shot by St. Paul. Quite a ways away. Breakout drill Woodbury. Not too bad. And the puck is taking it in for a shot. Wide of the net. Woodbury will recover, keep it in the zone. St. Paul says, take it out. And we got a whistle. We must have bounced that puck in the zone at some point there. We'll have a free throw. 1-0 in the early going here for Woodbury. St. Paul. And that puck comes out of the zone. St. Paul will have to clear him out and put it back to number 10. And number 60 lets it fly, and that's high and wide. And another save from Woodbury. With St. Paul leading in the shots on goal category. I don't think we're keeping track tonight, but definitely think they'd be in the lead. Face off, won by St. Paul. Shot attempted, and another shot wide of the net. Forwards here challenging these D's. There we go. That's good. And someone needs to be up on that D. Can't let them tee off all night on your goalie. Kept in the zone by St. Paul. A couple of players and shooting. Another save by Ian. St. Paul getting some, having their stats here on their zone time. Another shot, another save. Oh, and that goes in. Must have bounced off his arm. I saw it hit him. It must have just flipped over his right arm and into the goal. And we have a tie game, 1-1, St. Paul and Woodbury. Face-off win for St. Paul. DVD pass, looking pretty good. And up the ice to your forward. That's how you're doing it. Good pass for your player going up the ice. St. Paul bringing the puck slowly up the ice. Coach. And big number 2 is going to take that puck by himself, take a shot, save again, and that'll be covered up and we'll have a face-off. Face-off win for St. Paul. Sent forward. Shot doesn't quite make it for the goalie. Backhanded. Picked up by Woodbury. Attaboy, Henry. Covered by Woodbury and getting a little physical here. Sent forward by Woodbury. Might not be an icing. Pretty close. And point blank range there. Goalie makes a pretty good save there for St. Paul. Puck comes out of the zone. And back in the zone. Out of the zone. And back in the zone. Period, and we'll end in a 1-1 tie after one. Coaches will take them back to the bench and clean it up a little, and we'll go for another round.
It's good that's on the crossbar already.
Unmute. I guess we weren't muted. All right, folks. Second period here, 12 minutes on the clock. Each team with one goal in the first period. So we'll change directions. St. Paul will be going left to right, Woodbury right to left. In their blue jerseys. And face-off won by St. Paul. Unable to handle it is the St. Paul defense. And Woodbury can try and get possession here in St. Paul zone. Nice job there. Keep taking that puck away. Still in the zone. Now it comes out. And that may have been offsides, but no call. St. Paul. Oh my goodness. Let's go, boys. Help them out. And here we go. We got a breakaway and a long shot. Goalie stops that. We'll have a shift change and face-off. Face-off, won by Woodbury. St. Paul coming up the ice. He goes down. Woodbury takes possession. Puck comes out of the zone. Into the St. Paul zone, picked up by the B, sent back out. St. Paul recovers. Long shot, number 25. Got some heat on it, but wider than that. And not sure what's going on. Comes all the way around to the St. Paul defense. Challenge. Shot wide. Seems to be a little bit of a lull in the action here. Boys taking a little breather. And puck comes free right at a perfect angle for the shooter. To be kept in the St. Paul zone. Again, defense, not challenged, able to take a big shot. And now we're out coming up the ice. Right to the middle, broken up by the D. Number 2 up the ice, one-on-one with the goalie. St. Paul will take a 2-1 lead here early in the second period. I figure number 2 is in Woodbury. He'd probably be on a B2 team. Pretty good looking player for the Sea Dogs. And Woodbury wins that face-off. 10 up the ice. Shot, save, pretty good looking shot from the side there. Good save by the goalie. Now he's got to figure out where that goal puck is. And both teams will take a shift change. 2-1 St. Paul. Face off won by Woodbury. Shot out of the net. Face-off in the Woodbury zone. Kept in by St. Paul and a shot coming. Doesn't make it to the goalie. Number 2 brings it around, takes a shot, driving mark. Puck dangerously loose in front of the net. Goalie finally gets the glove on it. Face-off won by Woodbury. Immediately sent back to St. Paul's defense. Challenge. That puck almost comes out of the zone but stays in there. Good long shot for St. Paul. Point blank range. Shot there, saved. That shot doesn't make it to the net. Woodbury in possession, brings it out of the zone. Backhand pass. That comes back into the Woodbury zone, handled by the defense. Comes back out. Pretty good D-to-D pass there for St. Paul. Woodbury with an opportunity here coming up the ice. And that puck makes it to the goalie. Puts the pad away. Good job by the defense there. Hammered into the zone. St. Paul going for a shift change. Woodbury beyond their totals. They should have had an opportunity for a rush here, but now that puck's kept in the zone. And they'll get an opportunity if number 2 comes back looking for another goal. That puck just meanders out of the zone. Offsides can be. We don't have a face on it. Bit of an issue with the goalie pads. Dad's down there working on them. Face-off win by St. Paul. Handled by their D, passed up and forward. 52 brings it in the zone. Tries to get it to number 2. And that puck handled by Woodbury. Pass is missed, and that'll be an icing. Good idea, boys. Face off a tie. And a scoring opportunity here. And picked back up. And a shot. Saved by the goalie and and another opportunity. Just wide of the net. Goalie might have got a piece of that one. Again handled by Woodbury. Possession. Now St. Paul takes over, sends it towards the edge of the zone. Shot by number 7. Goes all the way to the goalie. Rebound was available. Good idea. Now take that puck in there. Woodbury on the move. Nice pass. Comes into the zone. Centering pass goes out. Shot. Goalie can't see it. Oh, it gets on top of it. That'll be a save. More of a face-off. Good looking opportunity for Woodbury there. St. Paul goalie says no deal.
Exciting. No.
Shift change. Face off. We'll call that a tie. Covered by St. Paul. Number 2 trying to get himself another goal. And shoot that much. And here we go, off on a rush. Puck comes into the zone. Kept in the zone. And puck eventually comes out, recovered by Woodbury. Centering pass. Shot. Nope. That shot wider than that. Kept in the zone by Sam. Gotta like that. St. Paul brings it up. Kept in the zone. Centered. Just almost out of the zone. Covered by Woodbury. Minute 8:19 to play here in the second period. St. Paul 2-1. Face-off win by St. Paul. Pretty good job recovering that, getting back to the defense. St. Paul team does a pretty good job of moving that puck around. Pretty good job rushing for Woodbury. Not sure what's going on there. The boys are not happy. He keeps sending it to the wall. We got to go there and pick it up then. We got a challenge, and there we go. Good job. And that is the end of the period. And they will end 2-1. One goal for St. Paul in that period. We'll have a short break. Sorry about that. Forgot to turn the sound on. I've been narrating the game myself here for the last 10 minutes. 2-1, running clock. Since we're technically game/scrimmage, we'll run to the end of our ice time. Woodbury with a breakaway. Centering pass, cleared out of there by St. Paul. Defense calls for it. And hands on the puck. Picked back up. Woodbury needs to get out of the zone. Sent back in. Recovered by Woodbury. 2-on-2. Oh my goodness. Pretty good looking shot there from St. Paul. Went off the defender's leg pad. Both players go down behind the net. Somebody needs to get on that D. Boys playing hard. Number 7 with a pass up. Not handled. Brought back into the zone by St. Paul. And shot wide of the net. Bouncing puck recovered by Woodbury. And opportunity there for Woodbury. Turn the puck over to St. Paul. Defense goes back to recover. St. Paul goes for a shift change. And you got to do something when you got a minute. And St. Paul is able to get back on the ice and get back in position. And number 7 takes a shot, doesn't make it. Cross ice. All right, we got a pinch up on them, boys. And Woodbury brings it out, one man to beat. Tried to do the old looky-loo through the legs there. It didn't work that time, and St. Paul will bring it back the other way. Poke check away from the offense. Woodbury recovers. Gonna bring it back in the zone, and a beautiful move, and just misses the net on the shot. And somebody needs to get over there and help him out. What are you doing, boys? Come on! All right, 3-on-1. And Woodbury is able to bring the puck back into the zone. Held behind the boards down there, and we'll get a whistle. A little too much contact. Again, we need to probably run the clocks here with these scrimmages. Either that or penalty shots, in my opinion. But that'll be a penalty on Woodbury. Should be, anyways. Should be a face-off down in the Woodbury zone. 4.5 to play, a running clock. We'll stay at 5-on-5. I think the player who commits the penalty has to go to the bench. And then a face-off in your zone if you're a guilty party here. That's how it works. Did we send a man off? I think we are, Woodbury's down a man. I'm not sure why they're deciding to enforce penalties here at the end of the game, but you know, they got to learn how to penalty kill. And one man to beat for number 83. Number 7 forces him to the wall. And puck comes out of the zone. Nobody in the box. I don't know if coaches are just timing their penalty or what. Woodbury loses the puck behind the zone. St. Paul goes down. Number 7's got his stick stuck in the ball. And St. Paul takes a long shot. Deflected wide. And number 2, not able to get the shot off. Kept in the zone nicely by St. Paul. Shot deflected by the goalie, and nobody really wants the puck apparently. St. Paul brings it up, pass, shot, save, rebound missed. Beautiful opportunity there for St. Paul, and that should be about 2 minutes. So I hope we're back to 5-on-5. Let me count them. Yep, 5 players for Woodbury. And what are we doing, number 7? All right, here we go, up the ice. And, oh boy. Pretty good job again by St. Paul, keeping their players in positions, passing, trying to get that open player in front of the net. They've done a nice job tonight doing that. Woodbury goalie doing a nice job saving. And these boys are running into each other a little too much. You can't be doing that. Calm down. All right, let's go. Huddle up, get back to the benches. Come on, get up, go back to your bench. Come on, coach, call him in. Intentional. Yeah, they just kind of ran into each other's knees. But someone is going to have to go off the ice for Woodbury. And we'll end the game here at 4-on-5. Again, that was all running clock time, so the clock did not stop during that injury stoppage. So we've got about 15 seconds to play. 6 seconds. That'll be the end. St. Paul will win 3-1 in this game/scrimmage. And a pretty hard-fought game between St. Paul and Woodbury. Pretty evenly matched team, same number of players. I know the boys are a little salty, but let's finish it right.